Welcome back to the tube. 3 a.m. wake up, cardio by 3:30. It's going to be a good day. Got a special guest for you today, but you'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a good one. Let's get it popping. Righto. Morning cardio done. Justin has dropped my cardio from 30 to 20 minutes. So 20 minutes done for me. The rest of the gang's got 30. So I usually spend that extra 10 minutes doing some abs, some core work, some posing, practicing my vacuums. And then we will head upstairs and get a bunch of work done. But thriving at 3:30 a.m. Win the morning, win the day. You know the drill. Alrighty guys, so cardio done. Everyone's kind of gone off for work for the day or steps for the day. So it's just me, chilling. Imogen, Christian, and Caitlyn have kindly opened their home to me whilst I'm here in Queensland. So very, very grateful for them to take care of me, put me up here, look after me. It's just one big bodybuilding hub whilst we're here. So Imogen and Christian are currently prepping for the FMG Auckland show, and then they'll be going on to a Worlds, which I think is in Brisbane, from memory. I honestly don't know. It's FMG, so I don't know. I just do what I'm told. So, you know, all four of us are in prep in sort of different stages. Obviously, Caitlyn and I are prepping for Tampa, and then Imogen and Christian are prepping for the Auckland show. So timelines are a little bit off center, but all four of us in prep, all four of us are locked in. They're all off running errands or working or doing what they're doing. So I'm going to lock in, knock some check-ins over, do some client work, catch up on a bit of admin stuff, and then we'll get into making meal one. So still fasted, took all my morning subs, did cardio, came home, tidied up my room and watched some YouTube and put my head on the pillow for half an hour, but too wired, too excited to sleep, too up and about. So gonna lock in, get some client work done, knock that over nice and early, and then we'll get started with the rest of our day. So see you on the other side. Alrighty, we're in the kitchen. Meal one time. The best meal of the day, my favorite meal of the day, the meal that I look forward to every single day, the one that I post almost every single day, and the one that I get the most attention on. And I have a confession to make. I don't actually make it. So let me introduce to you IFBB Wellness Pro, Caitlyn McGuinness.
So excessive.
To explain to you
guys.
how she makes my cream of rice every morning with her secret little special ingredient on top. Do you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Oh, I've gone overboard.
Oh God,
I've gone overboard.
We've already overdone it by 13 grams. We're off to a good start. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're from.
I'm Caitlyn. I am an IFBB Pro, Wellness Pro, recent. I'm an online coach. I'm also a personal trainer. And I'm originally from Melbourne, moved to the Sunshine Coast 2022, and now live on the Gold Coast. So Matt's rice flour is Mackenzie's rice flour. It's got 100 grams in there.
Now, there's a method to the madness, right? It has to be done the right way. So you're going to have to give people a step-by-step.
Boil your water. Boiling water. My ratios that I like to use is basically 5 times your rice flour. So 500 mils. I generally go a little bit over, like 550. And then make sure you're using a whisk. A whisk is the game changer. So we just put that into the Tupperware container because we're not fancy around here. We all eat out of Tupperware containers regardless of where we are. And then just make sure you whisk it until it comes to a good consistency. So this will take a little bit, but 1 to 5 for your ratios, rice flour to water. Must be boiling water. Use your whisk and whisk away.
We'll pin like a step-by-step of how Caitlyn makes my cream of rice in the comments below. You can try it out. Now, the hard part is that everyone kind of prefers like a little bit of a different consistency. So I like to really eat my food. I don't like to drink my food. So I kind of like it with the water.
Yeah, but we'll put protein first. What flavor?
Chocolate peanut butter. I think, today. Caitlyn is sponsored by the dark side. So we're using Rule 1 chocolate peanut butter. Yet she's wearing
Because
Muscle
it's
Nation.
goat.
We're actually wearing the same shirt today.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
No.
Oh. We're working on getting Caitlyn across the Muscle Nation. Don't tell Rule 1, but it's going to happen.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. And so we're using the chocolate peanut butter flavor today, which is kind of ironic because Muscle Nation don't do a chocolate peanut butter flavor.
So 60 grams in there.
Yep, on the dot. We don't miss a gram around here.
Then we're just going to whisk that in there as well. Now, if you've gone a little bit overboard with the water, it will go watery. Then we use the microwave, so I will show you that. So luckily, I fucked it up.
Oh yeah, that's a soup right now.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not making it, so I can't complain because I've seen you do it way too many times. If you put the cream of rice in the microwave for too long of a period at a time, it will spill over and make a mess. And
this one's not as bad.
This one's not as bad?
No, it's just the creamy rice.
Oh, we don't want that. So usually like what, 30 seconds at a time?
I'd go a minute to start with if it's like real bad like that.
Yep.
And then just continue to whisk it until you get your consistency that you want. Some people like it real cakey.
I'm kind of like in between, I reckon. I like it thick, but not too thick. Maybe only 2 C's in my thick, not 3. And then whilst we're sort of waiting for that, we'll kind of get the rest of our ingredients and concoction going. So for me, I do 100 grams blueberries, 100 grams raspberries, 30 grams peanut butter, 40 grams strawberry jam. After we put it out of the microwave, it's a little bit of a thicker consistency. And then we'll kind of stir that in.
So jam is in.
And that's like kind of the perfect consistency that I like. So what was that, a minute in the microwave?
A minute in the microwave.
Yeah, so we did make it a little bit too runny to begin with, but everything can be saved. So you can see that that's kind of like a...
This is your troubleshooting.
Troubleshooting. That's kind of like your cake batter consistency there, which is like perfect for me because we don't miss a single gram of carbs around here.
Always lick the whisk.
Try not to make eye contact with anyone when you're doing it, but lick the whisk.
All right, so peanut butter and jam is in there. And then just to give it a little bit more spread, we just pop a little bit of maple syrup in there. Mix that bad boy up.
It also volumizes it a little bit as well. So it kind of makes it go a little bit further.
And that's what you get. So that's what we drizzle on top. I don't want to talk about this.
I don't want to talk about that either. I had a bit of a mishap with the blueberry bag yesterday. My meal one was a little bit late. I had to make it myself because someone was busy.
I'm sorry, I had to go to work.
Yeah, terrible. And for the life of me, I couldn't undo the Ziploc bag. And it turns out it was up the wrong way. So I opened it at the wrong end and now we have a destroyed blueberry bag.
It's fine. It's fine. So 100 grams of blueberries. I like to smash my raspberries.
Yeah, you have it really like fine.
Yeah.
Which I'm now a fan of because
You
that's
don't
what I
really
get.
an option.
No, I don't.
You'll still get some big ones in there.
That's what she said.
On the knocker.
On the knocker.
And then just drizzle. That's literally it. It's definitely not a difficult meal to make, but it's probably the most delicious.
Yeah, it's not rocket science. And once you've sort of figured out the right ratios and how you sort of make it, you kind of just do it the same every time. Consistency is key.
So is presentation.
Oh, yeah.
Also, another prep hack, always have a silicone baby spoon because you can get all of the calories.
Because this is my pre-workout meal, and it's also my first meal of the day, obviously overnight we excrete a lot of diuresis. Thank you. So we want to make sure that we fill that back up, especially before training. So Caitlyn's got the drug scales out to make sure that we can hit 2 grams on the knocker because we don't leave any stone unturned this prep. We're making sure that we're tracking everything, sodium, water, potassium, everything. So smack bang on 2 grams. We'll get this meal in. I'll probably put another liter of water in before we head to train. Caitlyn is not training today because look at that. Goated. Goated. Why aren't you training today, Caitlyn?
And this is the difference.
His versus hers.
It's rest day today.
Why is it a rest day for you?
Because I only train 3 days a week.
Caitlyn trains 3 days a week. Being a wellness pro, she only trains 3 leg days a week.
Actually, really annoying.
You know what's
So
really
aware.
annoying? Her upper body, because she doesn't train it and it's absolutely jacked. Doesn't train upper body. That makes me so mad. Meanwhile, I train biceps 5 times a week and they're still miserable. So that's it. If you have any questions, any queries, pop them in the comments below. Caitlyn will answer all your questions about food and cooking because I'm not. But we're going to smash this down. I'm going to go train pull, get some posing done. Caitlyn's going to go get a blowy, get her hair done. Weekly blowy. Spoke to Justin this morning and we get a big refeed day tomorrow. So I'm flying back to Melbourne tomorrow afternoon, which is perfect. So it's a rest day and I'm traveling and I get a bunch of food. So Justin will send me through that diet this afternoon. Like I said, we had a few high days last week and they barely even touched the sides. So something tells me that it's going to be quite substantial, which makes me very excited. And I love eating a lot whilst I'm traveling, especially on a rest day. So super keen for that. But I will probably see you guys at the gym. Peace. Today won't be the most detailed of sessions because the last training session I filmed was this exact session. And it's going to be very much of the same. So there won't be too much today. If you want to see a really detailed version of this session where Justin thoroughly explains why, how, when, where, what we do in this session, damn sight better articulation than I can. I think it's like 2 videos back, 3 videos back maybe. But we'll get some training footage today, clip some stuff together, get a juicy pump, pose, always pose, and then see how we go from there. But I don't want to bore you too much because this video is already going to be pretty long as it is, because there's a lot to go through. So starting off with some alternating bicep curls, that was just a warm up, and then we'll move on to some alternating bicep curls. Then we've got a high row, T-bar row, pull down, rear delts, and more biceps. So let's get after it. The music is pumping in here, so hopefully these mics are really nice. Maybe I'll just talk into the mic like this, and then you'll be able to hear me really clearly. And until such time, we'll see how we go. First decent movement for today is high row. This is probably my favorite back movement. This and a T-bar row are probably my 2 favorite back movements and have been for quite some time. Just the contraction that you get, the range of motion that you get, the stability that you can get from it. So being supported, being locked in, making sure we can get the contraction in the right area. So some big key things to worry about here is making sure that we stay supinated. So if you remember the video with Justin, if you didn't watch it, we like to stay supinated in this. We don't like to stretch too much so the shoulder comes out. So you want to stay all that tension, and then we're driving down hard into that hip pocket, pulling down really hard into that hip pocket and sort of crunching down and getting a really good lat focus here. So a big focus for my off season was lower lat focus. So quite broad across the rear delts, shoulders, upper back, trap area, because I'm quite trap dominant. So with this, we really wanted to bring up a lot of lat thickness and a lot of mid back thickness. So that's why we T-bar row. That's why we high to low row. So we're going to lock in here, really squeeze in, get a good workout. We've actually added some weight this week from last week. So I spoke to Justin yesterday and with my quad session, sort of told him that I was feeling really, really good and asked for the all clear to sort of progress a little bit in some lifts, add some weight, aim for some numbers and a bit more of a progression rather than just going through the motions and hitting the numbers that we've been hitting. And he said as long as we sort of stay in that 2 reps in reserve range, then he is all for it. So still going to stay in the 2 reps in reserve range. We're not going to go to complete failure, but we still want to get after it. We still want to get some numbers, take advantage of the good vibes and get a really good session. So making sure we're bracing, staying supinated, and then pulling down nice and hard. Really happy with that set. Really, really happy. Getting some really good contractions at the moment. bang on. Love it. Love it. I think we finally mastered this machine. It's taken me 2 months to figure out how to adequately set it up, re-rack it, load it, get a good stretch and get a good contraction. But I think we're finally there. I think we are finally there. So what we're doing here is really letting the chest pad sort of brace and control. And then we're really trying to stretch and open up over this chest pad, getting a nice big stretch through the mid-back rhomboids in a neutral grip, squeezing up, pulling those elbows back, brushing them right past our lats here. Again, into that hip pocket, trying to get a really good lower lat squeeze here. This is the same weight that we did for last week's top set. Like I said, feeling really good. So see how this contraction goes. And then next set we might add a 5 or a 10 or something a little bit cheeky. Stretch, yeah. Yep. Yep. Beautiful. That pull down. Make sure we get a nice good stretch without that scap really coming out. Making sure we're keeping that elbow path in front of our shoulders so we're not pinching back. We want a lat contraction, so we're pulling down. And again, pulling those lats down, pushing our chest up just a touch. Yep. Beautiful. Back done. 2 sets of rear delts, 4 sets of biceps, and then we'll pose. Woo-wee. Yep. And that's a wrap. Well, kind of, not really. Got told I couldn't film in the gym today, which is different. So got midway through the session and someone came up and told me that I couldn't have tripods in the gym. So had to respect that. So and didn't end up filming the rest of the session, but we are in the posing room now. So we will have a little look-see, see where we're at. Pump feels really good, feeling really, really strong. So let's have a bit of a pose. We'll see where we're at. Then we'll take some photos. Then we'll get home, get a meal in, go from there. And there we go. Another day of prep ticked off. Another day in the books. All that's left to do now is eat my last 2 meals, get 3,000 steps, edit this, upload this, go to bed. Justin has sent through my next diet, and it is very exciting, to say the very, very least, which means a lot of content for you guys coming. We're doing a test peak at 5.5 weeks out. Pretty unheard of, but with the condition that we're in, the situation that we're in, the way that I'm looking, the way that I'm feeling, it's just an opportunity for us to get more data, which is super duper exciting. And I think I'm going to bring it all to you guys. And Justin has given me the all clear to give you guys every single piece of detailed information that we're going to be applying over the next 3 to 4 days. So there's 3 diets. We could potentially be running tomorrow twice. So today is Wednesday. I fly back to Melbourne tomorrow afternoon. So I'll be running the first high day tomorrow, which is high carb, high sodium, high water. And then we'll potentially double that down on the Friday. And then there'll be a slight reduction on the Saturday. And then we'll be looking at doing a diuresis day on the Sunday. So excreting fluid, getting super duper dry. It's apparently freezing in Melbourne at the moment, which is a great thing, which means more diuresis, more excretion, tighter skin texture, all the above. And then that would give us Monday morning being hopefully a very, very impressive look. So I think it's going to be really, really fun. I think it's going to be a great learning experience. I think it's going to provide us with a lot of data. Justin's informed me that it's probably not as full on as what it potentially could be for a peak, which is interesting because there's a lot of food. But I'm going to be bringing it all to you guys, which means there's going to be lots and lots of content, which means I'm going to be uploading a video every day for the next 4 days at the least. So trust me when I tell you, like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you stay up to date because the content's going to be coming thick and fast. I promise you guys that I'll be bringing you all the details. I'll be bringing you all the juicy, juicy info, and there will be nothing undisclosed. So I'm going to be giving you all my meals, all my sodium, all my water, everything that I'll be doing over the next 4 days. I'm going to upload that hopefully in 4 separate YouTube videos. So follow along. If you did like this video, please comment down below. If you want to see more of Caitlyn on the channel, definitely let me know because we're definitely going to be following her prep and her peak as we go. She'll be traveling with me, or I'll be traveling with her, or we'll be traveling together to Tampa, Texas, and to Atlanta. So it's going to be a lot. It's about to get super hectic, but I'm super excited. I was really happy with the look that we had today. I was really happy with the session that we had today. I was really happy with how this is all unfolding. There's plenty to come. I'm going to make the most of this sunset because it's back to cold Melbourne tomorrow. Get excited, guys. It's game time. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you in the next one very, very shortly.